So to kind of go along with my defensive line video from earlier in the week, we're going to talk about J.J. Watt today. We're going to go further in depth into Watt himself because in my defensive line video I kind of just skimmed over him and said I would talk about Watt further in depth in another video, and this is that video. Now, J.J. Watt, these past 2 years, out of 32, well, technically 34 possible games, if you count the playoff games, he's only played, what, 8? Really, 7, because he got hurt in the first drive of the Kansas City game. But, we're going to give him 8. That's less than 25%. Watt is getting paid 15 mil per year for these next 3 years. And in year 4, which is 2021, his final year of his contract, 17.5 mil. Is J.J. Watt worth 15.5 mil? Okay, look. Watt, while he's been out there these past 8 games, he's been a pretty damn good run stopper. I'd even say elite. He's been a good elite run stopper these last 8 games he's played these past 2 seasons. I'll give him that. But 15 mil. You do not pay 15 million for a run stopper. You pay 15 million for a pass rusher. Now, J.J. Watt, yes, he's been a 20 sack monster before, but that's in the past. We're talking about now. What has Watt done for us these past 2 years? Nothing much, really. And Watt, I don't know if he's going to be back to that form. Okay, if we're being realistic, Watt will never be back to that 20 sack monster. He's not going to get there anymore. It's just not going to happen. It'd be a miracle if it would happen. I would love it to happen, but I'm just being realistic, man. Watt is not going to get back to that 20 sack, 3-time defensive player of the year monster he was before. Can he be better than he's been these past 8 games? Oh yeah, man. I definitely believe so. I think Watt has been rusty, and Watt got hurt again. And he probably needs to knock some rust off. Maybe he could be a good pass rusher, but he's not going to be the guy that's worth 15 mil per year. He's just not. Am I worried about Watt getting hurt? Well, okay, look. A lot of people are tripping because of his back. Oh my god, backs are so serious. I wouldn't worry about the back. His knee happens to everyone. They bounce back all the time. I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about, though, is the next injury. What is Watt's next injury? Because Watt has become an injury-prone player. Watt is at a point where he's worked so hard to get to where he's at right now, or where he was at his peak of his career, his prime, how they say. He's worked so hard to get there. He's overworked his body to the point that right now his body is starting to deteriorate. I'm not worried about Watt injuring his back again. I'm not worried about Watt hurting his knee again. I'm worried about what's next, because Watt is now considered injury prone. Watt is prone to injuries now, and if you really think about it, it kind of dates back to 2015. The broken hand, he had torn muscles. It's safe to say Watt is considered an injury-prone player at this point. Not debatable, he's injury-prone. Again, can Watt get back to being a good player? Sure, yeah. It's possible. It's possible Watt can knock some of that rust off, be a dependable pass rusher, and be an elite run stopper. Yeah, it seems reasonable. It seems possible. But again, 15 mil for a guy that's not a top tier pass rusher. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Now, there's also a lot of people tripping about, man, we're paying JJ Watt 15 mil, and now we gotta pay Clowney. We can't keep them both. We can keep them both. Come on. Like, stop. Just stop. You're hurting yourself. We can keep them both. That is not a worry. What I am worried about is, at some point, is this JJ Watt contract gonna affect us from signing outside players, from signing other players in the future, such as, you know, the Will Fullers, the Cunninghams, you know, the Coles. You know, because Watt is going to be here till 2021, or that's his contract, so to speak. And, you know, in coming years, other free agents who might want to bring into the team, it might be affected because of the Watt contract. I mean, people like to make the Watt contract seem crazy big, but it's not that big of a deal. Watt only has, I want to say, $6 million guaranteed this next season, and I think a little bit in 2019, and I think 2020 and 2021 there's nothing, so realistically we could cut him there. So I don't think his contract is an issue how a lot of people are making it to seem. However, Watt, if I were Brian Gaine, I'd call JJ Watt up to my office and I'd sit him down, you know, in a nice comfortable chair, and I'd be like, listen buddy, I like you and all, but you've only played 8 out of the last 30 plus games. That's less than 25% of the games. And you're getting 15 mil a year. Yeah, man, we might have to reconstruct your contract a bit. And, you know, I'm not talking about taking away all of JJ's millions, no. JJ, what I would do with his contract is I'd give him, you know, right now he's making 15 mil next year, so, you know, give him 9 mil. You know, he just earns 9 mil, and then if he plays, let's say, 12 games, he gets an extra 2 mil. If he plays all 16 games plus the playoff games, he gets another extra mil. If he gets double-digit sacks, he gets another extra 2 mil. Okay, so if he plays all the games and he gets those amount of sacks, then it's a win for the Texans, because what does it mean? Well, they got JJ Watt back. And if he doesn't play those games, if he doesn't get those sacks, then guess what? The Texans win. Why? Because now that creates like around 6 to 7 million from Watt's contract that wasn't used to pay him out because he didn't meet those requirements in his contract. So that was unused cap. So that cap rolls over to the next year. So technically, we can keep Watt. We can reconstruct his contract to where he has to meet certain requirements to earn all his money on his contract. And I think that is genius. I think it has to happen. I think it makes perfect sense because it's a win-win scenario for the Texans. Why? If Watt comes back to being Watt, then guess what? You got a great player. If he doesn't, then guess what? You save like 6 million cap for the next season to sign players or extend players. So I think you have to structure Watt's contract like that. I just feel like it makes too much sense. I think it's got to happen, and if it doesn't happen, I'd be a little upset. I should probably apply for GM because it makes too much sense. Anyways, other people are saying trade Watt. And I absolutely hate that. Like, I don't hate the idea of trading Watt. I hate thinking of a trade scenario for Watt because it's hard to know if a certain team would gamble on the player like Watt. Watt's trade value, I don't even know what it is. Because, say, a team like the Patriots could trade their first round pick, because they always trade their first round pick for a player like Watt on a gamble. They're going to gamble that Watt is going to come back to being that guy he once was. And some teams are not going to gamble with it. Like, say, I don't know, the Browns, they probably wouldn't gamble with it. Like, they'd be like, no, I don't want that guy. He's going to get hurt, Like, so, I do not know the value for Watt. Like, you could sit here and say he's worth a second round pick. Okay, but I'm pretty sure a team like the Packers, a team like the Steelers, a team like the Patriots, a team that always picks late would be willing to take a gamble on Watt. Why? Because even though Watt's never going to get back to that 20-sack form monster he once was, if he was healthy, if he were to stay healthy for a season, he'd still be pretty damn good, a really good run stopper, elite run stopper, above average pass rusher from the interior too. So yeah, I don't like talking Watt trades. I don't like talking trades in general, man, because trades are just so hard to predict, in my opinion. Like, for example, who would have thought Jay Ajayi would be worth a 4th round pick? Or who would have thought that, what's his name, Marcel Darius would be worth a 6th round pick? Like, this is, like, I don't like talking trades, man. I just do not like trades, so I'm not really going to talk about it, but that's all I'm really going to say about it, that different teams value certain players a different way. Certain teams would be willing to take a gamble on JJ. You just got to find the right one. So, trading him, I wouldn't really do it because, as a Houston sports fan, I'm only suffered through it for like 20 years, but knowing Houston's luck, let's say the Texans trade J.J. Watt to the Packers, J.J. Watt goes to the Packers, J.J. Watt wins the Defensive Player of the Year award. Like, that's just the type of luck Houston would have. But say, if you keep Watt, you wait one more year, you let things play out, okay, then what if Watt gets hurt? Well, then I'm pretty sure all the value Watt had this season just goes out the window, because at this point, 3 straight years in a row of being injured, yeah, no one's gonna take a gamble on that anymore. 2 seasons, I could see someone taking a gamble. 3, you'd have to be some stupid team to take a gamble at that point. And if we're really being realistic, like 100% real, Watt isn't going anywhere, and for one huge reason. To the die-hard fans of the Texans, we already know Deshaun Watson is the face of the franchise. Like, he's the guy. But to the casual fan, that guy is still J.J. Watt. Bob McNair is not going to let the Texans get rid of Watt. Why? Because to the casual fan, Watt is the guy. Watt is the guy that brings in the money. Yes, us diehard fans know Deshaun Watson is going to take over the franchise. But to the casual fan, that guy's still JJ. So, I just don't see the Texans moving on from JJ from that standpoint either. So, those are really my thoughts on the whole JJ Watt situation. It's a whole complicated mess. So many different things he could do. But I think the best scenario is reconstruct his contract. Hope that he gets healthy next season. And he's healthy next season. Hope that he plays all games. Hope that he has double-digit sacks. And if not, well, you still kind of have a winning situation because you get cap space for the following year. So I think it's a win-win scenario for the Texans in that situation. That's really what I would do with Watt. Just reconstruct his contract. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.